Nylon bristle brush toothbrush, which was the first commercial product to be made with nylon yarn. A rainy winter caused water levels to rise on the Santa Ana River in California, which took the lives of 58 people, and the steam locomotive Mallard sets a world speed record for steam, reaching 125.88 miles per hour on London and Northeastern Railway. The year is 1938, and this car was Cadillac's answer to being the most luxurious car available, the only car offered with a V16. But before getting into all of it, I'm Jay. Welcome to What It's Like, the automotive channel that covers the lost and forgotten cars of yesteryear. We feature the classics, vintage, some exotics, orphan cars, and cars the big brands forgot they made. Engine episodes on Wednesday. We talk history, specs, button switches, and knobs, but most importantly, we show what these cars are like. If that sounds like a channel that you will totally dig, subscribe and hit the bell icon next to it to never miss a video. I found this 1938 Cadillac Series 90 at Canton Classic Auto Museum in Canton, Ohio, where they have a collection of exquisite cars that are rarely seen. They not only have one Cadillac V16, but they have two in their collection. If you're ever out in Canton looking for something to do, be sure to check this place out for hours, directions, link in the description. 1938, Cadillac was broken down into 5 model lines. Series 60, which rides a wheelbase of 127 inches, followed by Series 60S, which rides a wheelbase of the same 127 inches. In the middle was Series 65, riding a wheelbase of 132 inches, Series 75 on a wheelbase of 141 inches, and at the top was Series 90, riding the longest wheelbase, 141 inches. The Series 90 for 1938 could be had as a convertible coupe, convertible sedan with trunk, coupe, town sedan, touring sedan, another touring sedan with divided window, formal sedan, imperial touring sedan, and town car. Cadillac offered the V16 from 1929 to 1940 in 2 generations. The first generation was produced from 1929 to 1937. Second generation was produced from 1938 to 1940. Designed by Harley Earl, the Cadillac V16 was the car to one-up all of the others with a V16 engine. Was exclusive. There was only 3 American brands that offered a V16. Well, technically 2. Peerless built 1 prototype before going under. Marmon was the other company, but they went under in 1933. So after that, if you wanted a V16, Cadillac was the only game in town. It's important to note, first generation Cadillac V16 used a totally different power plant than the second generation. First generation used a 452 cubic inch displacement overhead valve unit that looks super modern for the time period. Second generation, they went for a totally new approach, going to a 431 cubic inch displacement, 135 degree V16. It looks very alien to anything that came before it or since it. And the crazy thing is, the V16 wasn't a high earner, as it was Cadillac's halo car. But companies don't really sell halo cars in high numbers. It's more or less a car to lust after, I suppose. Cadillac discontinued their V12 in 1937 to let the V16 live on, which was a super interesting choice, considering they didn't really sell that many V16 cars. 1938 is the first year, second generation, and it saw a bit of a facelift, so let's compare 37 on top, 38 on the bottom, starting in the front. The biggest change in the front is the grille. The grills are totally different, as well as where the lights are mounted. The headlights are mounted to the side of the hood on the 37 versus fenders on 38. Bumpers are also different. Accessory lights, where they're mounted in different locations. Flying ladies are different. Wheel covers have been revised. Running boards also appear to be different. Moving to the side mount cases have been revised. Both front and rear fenders have been revised, as well as there are trim beads found on the 38 versus none on the rear fenders of the 37. Doors also open differently. Moving to the rear, bumpers, tail lights are different. Gas filler is in the same place. Finding pictures proved to be difficult, so just wanted to say that the 37 also offered the trunk in body just like the 38, but this car has the external trunk that's removable. Body styles and angles were hard to find. Anyway, moving inside to take a closer look at the interior and dash situation, with both of them being different. Which one do you like better? Let's talk specs. 200.6 inches long. It rides a wheelbase of 141 inches. It weighs around 5,165 pounds. Price, $5,215, which is equivalent to you spending $133,565.32 the year 2023. Total 1938 Cadillac production across all 5 models was 9,458 units, of which 1938 Series 90, they made 95 V16 examples. If you're curious of how many Generation 2 Series 90s were produced, which was from 1938 to 1940, only 514 were produced. Moving on to engine, only one engine on offer, 431 cubic inch displacement flat head, 135 degree V16, 7.1 liters. It's good for 185 horsepower, 3,600 RPM, 320 pound-feet, or 433 newton meters at 1,400 RPM, with a bore of 3.2 inches and a stroke of 3.3 inches. Compression is 7:1, featured 9 main bearings. Theoretical top speed 100 miles per hour. It would do 10 to 60 in 16 seconds. Let's talk styling. There is a lot going on with this design. Look at the center line in the fender, how it comes up here to this marker. And there is a light inside of there. But just look at all of the different lines, layers going on. I love that it's like teardrop shaped. Then the headlights have this center line. Just look at all of the different bars in that grille. Beautiful V16 badge here. So notice these side lines, how it comes to a point. Bumpers say Cadillac, nice and proud there. And just look how it has this little tiny apron that comes up. Coming down the side, bright work. Look at these vents. There's 3 of them. Side mounts in cases, as well as mirrors on top of the side mounts on both sides. One on the other side there as well. This car does have a cowl vent in the center. The windshields are, yes, the windshield wipers are up on little pedestals. Just look at all the detail. Split windshield. This car also has mirrors up here. So that's a bit redundant. I never saw that. I never saw a car with 4 mirrors on it. That's pretty cool. Vent windows are huge. Here's a buckle to open the side mount. Look at the running boards. Also check out these beads up here. The running boards are pretty wide. Here's my foot for reference. I wear size 12 shoe and it fits on the running board in the front. Does taper in the back quite drastically. It's my size 12 shoe there. It does have bright work that runs about the top of the belt line of the car. The fenders are rolled. The hubcaps say V16. And here are some lines to mimic the lines on the hood. The fenders are rolled. Also check out these lines. It's flipped though. Up at the top one is the longest line. See? So interesting. This one has fins, sort of. Look at the brake lights. The bumpers mimic the front bumpers, except the back bumpers have overriders, whereas the front one did not. Gas filler is on the driver's side. Oh, the trunk deck lid's pretty heavy. But just check out all the storage space that you have, plus a place to put the spare tire. Getting inside, but before we do, just look at how these door handles are designed. Notice there's keyholes on both the front and rear compartment. The door has a bit of heft to it. Wood, real wood at the top here. Armrest, door handle to get out. Window crank for the window. Operates like that. Just notice it's all trimmed out here because this is a convertible sedan. Massive vent windows, which are controlled by this vent window knob. This one has a spotlight. It's controlled with this. Just take a look at this interior. Coming down inside the pedal box down here, you have the emergency brake handle there, high beam switch on the floor, clutch, brake, gas pedal. The heater box is also down here, as well as, I don't know what that is. It almost looks like a trash can of sorts. Just take a look at this interior. Here is what over the hood looks like. Here is what first person over the hood looks like. On to the button switches and knobs, starting on the left and moving right. That is the handle for the auxiliary light and or spotlight, headlights, starter, coolant temperature, gasoline gauge, speedometer with odometer and trip. Notice there are, it looks to be like 3 idiot lights at the bottom of the speedometer. Drive, pass, and city. Not entirely sure what that is for. Oil pressure, amp meter. There are 3 more poles. I'm not entirely sure what those do. If you know, in the comment section below. Fuel to turn on and off. Key, radio, which is mounted vertically, hand throttle, cowl vent, lighter, and clock. Up above, there are sun visors, and they are massive. And they don't operate the way that I thought they did. Operate kind of funny. Guess they operate like that. But there's only a sun visor on the driver's side. There's nothing on the passenger side. I think there might have been one at one point. The stuff is there. The convertible top latches, there's one here, there's one in the center, and there's one on the side. Below the steering wheel, there's plenty of room to put my hand in between my lap and the steering wheel. And the only reason I show that is because you're the same size as me, but I wear size 36 pants. You will fit in this car beautifully. Coming to the rear door. Notice there isn't an armrest on the door panel itself. Also notice it's all framed out. Door handle to get out. Window crank for the big window. Just take a look at it back here. There's a lot of space. Tons of space. There is an ashtray, garage door style, on the air itself, as well as cigarette lighter, armrest. And everything that is found on the driver's side is also found on the passenger side. It has a robe rail. It also has a speaker down there at the bottom. Partition. This is what this window crank is for. It's for the partition for the, if you didn't want to talk to the driver or you didn't want to hear his conversation. As well as clock there. Coming to the under the hood section, the hood release is the lady herself. You just pick her up like that. So there's two catches. The lady, when you pick the lady up, you see that move? She attaches to this bar here. Then you have this, which you have to fish up through this hole here. But just notice the radiator sits in this, underneath this nose piece. Look at these crossbars to stiffen everything. But this engine sits way down inside. Like so far. Like you would need, I'm a tall guy. And to do any work on this engine, man, I mean, like it's down there. And it looks weird. It's a V16, but it's a flathead. Generator right up on top here. Also notice the generator is connected to the fan. It's got two pulleys on it, two belts. So just notice it's like each bank of cylinders acts as its own engine. It's got an oil bath air cleaner for both banks of cylinders. And I guess these come off to make it easier to work on this. But just look at all the plumbing on this side. It's got two distributors, one on each side. So there's a distributor there. There's also another distributor over there. Two coils, one on each side. On the positive side, said to be as smooth and quiet as the earlier overhead valve V16 version. All models are full classic status, luxury, refinement. Only V16 game in town at this point. Against it, they are expensive to buy, run, operate, insure, parts, restoration costs would make your head spin. Trim, body parts are impossible to find. But taking all of that into account, which one would you rather have? 1938 Packard 12 or 1938 Cadillac Series 90 or 1938 Chrysler Imperial? I'm going to leave this here for a minute. If you need more time, feel free, pause the video. Moving on to the second scenario, 1938 Pierce Arrow or 1938 Cadillac Series 90 or 1938 Lincoln Model K. Once again, gonna leave this here for a minute. If you need more time, feel free, pause the video. Now it's time for Name That Tune. First person to get both the name of the band and the song title correctly in the comment section will have your comment pinned to the top of it. Thank you all so much for coming out and watching this. If you'd like to get in touch with me, shoot me a comment in the comment section below or check out our Facebook group that correlates with this YouTube channel. If you don't have Facebook and would still like to reach me, send me an email. All of it will be linked in the description below. Just know I appreciate everything that you guys bring, the corrections, the comments, the experiences, and the stories. I dig reading the stories in the comment section. Until next time, toodaloo! Hey Archie, do you want to go for a ride? Hey, where's your leash? Are you going outside? Are you going outside? Where's your leash? Where's your leash? Where's your leash? Are you going outside?